On Hong Kong's northwestern coast, Tom Chan spends his mornings trying to bring back a chapter of the territory's past.
We want to restore this abandoned oyster farm back to a more naturally looking habitat so that it can provide the ecological function as a normal oyster reef.
This area was once part of an oyster farming industry dating back 700 years. Many of these traditional farms were abandoned when more modern techniques were introduced. Now conservationists are trying to restore them to help save the reefs.
Hong Kong once had thriving oyster reefs, but a number of factors, including coastal reclamation, pollution and overexploitation, have led to a decline in oyster populations over the past 150 years.
Scientists say restoring the old farms is a fast and effective way to boost oyster populations.
One of the big benefits with something like an abandoned oyster farm is that you've already got oysters growing. If you can consolidate that structure, bring it together to form more of a reef-like structure, you've got a head start.
Researchers estimate about 80% of oyster reefs around the world have been removed or damaged. Professor Russell says restoring them is important to revitalising marine ecosystems.
They form reefs, they form big structures which provide habitat for other organisms. So there's thousands of species which live in and around oyster reefs.
Oyster reefs also help mitigate coastal erosion and help reduce toxic algae blooms. The researchers say restoring reefs and sustainable harvesting can go together because farmers can benefit from an increase in the number of oysters. In Hong Kong's bustling Victoria Harbour, researchers are deploying a different method, putting oyster shells back in the ocean to attract other marine life.
So this is the oyster string that we put into the ocean 10 months before. So we have like a completely cured oyster shells, and then we drill them, assemble them, and then put it into the ocean. So this oyster shell substrate for other marine organisms to live on that.
They say they want to teach people the harbour belongs to everyone, including its oysters. Jessica Washington, Al Jazeera, Hong Kong.